Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be setting goals for 2023. Seems kind of crazy because I feel like I was just recording my 2022 goals. This year went by super fast. I know I've said it before, but I feel like now that I have a kid, the years just go even faster than they used to. I don't know how that's possible, but it's like the older I get, the faster time goes. But anyways, we are going to set some goals for the new year. I am going about goal setting and such a little bit differently this year than I did last year. One thing I am not doing this year is I am not making a actual physical vision board this year. At least I don't plan on it. Mainly because last year I just found that by like the middle of the year, it wasn't that I wasn't still going after my goals, but I just wasn't looking at it. And when I looked at it, it didn't motivate me anymore. Um, I'm not really sure why that is. Maybe I will do vision boards in the future. I'm not saying I'll never do one ever again, but I am not doing one this year. Instead, what I have decided to do is I'm going to do like a bullet journal for my goals, and I think that that will visually motivate me better than pictures of someone else doing my goals or of quotes or something. So I'm actually I have January's goals here, but I need to actually get some new, this is just like a bullet journal that I made. I bought some bullet paper and I used these, which are the same things that I use to put my planner together every year. I just like the way this looks. I like that then I can add and remove pages, because when I do things like a bullet journal, my OCD kicks in a little bit, and if I like mess up on a page, like the page needs to go away. Like it's just, I don't actually have OCD, but I have it when it comes to that type of thing. My hair today, you guys, is just, it is what it is. But anyways, so that is something that we're going to be doing different this year, is we are going to be doing a bullet journal instead of a physical vision board. We are still going to be setting goals in the same way, but if you do want to know how I go about putting together a vision board, I actually have some videos that I did last year that if I was going to do one this year, I would do it the exact same way. But I'm not in the mood to do one, quite honestly. So I'm not going to, but we are going to go in. I'm using Notion again to organize my yearly goals. And I set my goals into 3 different categories: personal, my 9 to 5 job, and then small town envy, which is this channel. And within the personal category, I then break that into 5 categories, which is health, home, travel, finances, and family and friends. So that said, let's get into the goals. And within the health category, I have body, mind, soul, and personal growth. Just kind of how I like to set them so that everything's not bulked, because I don't like I've seen some people where they're setting their yearly goals and they just do like 23 lists of goals. Some are big, some are small, and I like mine to be a little bit more categorized than that, because I don't want to have like 10 goals on like my health and then like nothing with another area of my life. I do like to have some goals for each different aspect of my life. I think that that's just a better way for me, at least. So the first category within health is body. I do actually have a weight goal that I am trying to hit. I quit breastfeeding in July of last year, and when I quit breastfeeding, I actually have gained quite a bit of weight since then. I don't like look at myself and think that I'm crazy overweight or anything, but I know that for me personally, I feel better at the weight that I actually started 2022 with. But obviously, since I have had my daughter, my body is just a little bit different than it was before, and so I'm just going to try to find a way to get back to the weight goal that the weight that I was at before. And the second thing is underbody is actually that I just want to get ready every day. I obviously before 2020 and COVID and we all got sent home, I got ready every single day because I was going into the office. Since we have been working from home, I typically only get ready when I have somewhere to go or if like I need to film a YouTube video or something. And I just don't want to do that anymore. I feel so much better when I actually intentionally wake up in the morning and get ready. So, new goal, no matter what I'm doing, no matter if I'm just lounging around the house all day, even if it's like a weekend, holiday, whatever, I want to get ready every single day. I just know that it's going to make me feel better and it's going to make me more productive because when I get ready, that just motivates me. And the days that, I'm just lounging on the couch and I don't do anything, typically I spend the whole day not doing anything, and we're trying not to do that anymore. So, new goal, I'm going to try to get ready every single day. The next category is mind, and honestly, this year, all I put was slow down. I have a tendency to like accomplish something and be like, okay, what's next? Or, not really just live like in the moment. Like I'm always like 10 steps ahead. And especially with my daughter changing so much now, I don't want to miss anything. And so I am going to try to be more intentional this year and just slow down and enjoy things and not try to be at a season that I'm not actually in yet. Like I need to just enjoy where I'm at a little bit more often. I mean, obviously like I will still have goals and I will still be looking towards the future. But I can do that while still appreciating where I'm at a little bit more than I do. So I just want to slow down. I also kind of have like an all or nothing mentality a lot of times. And so like I'm either like doing absolutely nothing or I'm doing like everything at 100 miles an hour. So we're just going to try to get a little bit better at just slowing down, enjoying things, just being more intentional, which I have been this past year, but we want to get even better this year. And then the next category is soul. And within there, I put that I want to continue spending time daily in the Bible, which I have been doing the last, I think like 4 months now, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm really getting so much out of it. I just love it. And the second thing is actually a 2022 goal was to curate a girls group, which I did, but then we all got busy and it kind of fell apart. So a goal for this year is to revive that Bible study. Now, whether it's the same as it was before, where it's the same girls that I reached out to before, I don't know what that's going to look like. Obviously, I'm going to try with them, but if it fizzled out once, I have a feeling it could fizzle out again. So I just need to come up with a new game plan because I really enjoyed that while we were doing it. It's just like once everybody got kind of busy, it just like completely fell apart. And obviously everybody's always going to be busy. So I need to figure out something to do with that. And then in the last category, it is growth. And on there, I put work on communicating my needs and my wants. One thing that I really noticed this year is not that I'm bad at communication, but when it comes to things that upset me or anything that, like, I don't know, I guess more that things that like upset me or aren't the most easy, comfortable things, like it more of like confrontation type things. I get very nervous and I tend to just not talk about it until like all I can do is then just kind of like bubble up and explode and like word vomit all the things. And so I'm going to try to get better at just communicating things when they bother me as opposed to being like, yeah, cool, I'm fine, until all of a sudden I'm like a monster and it's not all fine. So that is definitely something that is a me thing that I need to work on. I've been like that as long as I can remember. I'm not a big talk about your feelings type of person. I'm a don't talk about it and it'll probably go away type of person. And sometimes they don't go away. And I'm at a point in my life where I need to not just like shove it under the rug anymore. And I also don't want to then teach Aurora that that is how she should go about her communication skills and her emotions and stuff. So working on me so that then I don't like scar my daughter for life. Then the next category would be home. And the first thing that I want to do, for those of you that are new or maybe you just don't know, we bought my in-laws house. So that is where we're living now. It's my husband's childhood home. It's right down the road from my childhood home. And I absolutely love this house, but I moved in knowing that there were a lot of things that I wanted to be different renovation wise, because there was a lot of the house, if not all of it, hasn't had anything done to it since like the early 80s, I think. Maybe late 80s, I don't know. But there were a lot of things that I wanted to do, and I think that because I watched so much HGTV in my life, I think that like in my head I was just gonna do all these renovations super quickly, and we were going to be able to like do a whole room at a time or like a whole big project at a time. And yes, that could potentially be possible, but it would take a ton longer than if we just do little bits here and there. And so what I put down on here is to make our house more ours, even if it's a little at a time, because there's like whole rooms in my house where like I haven't even decorated them because they need renovated. And now that I have a more realistic vision of like home ownership, parenthood costs, adult life, I know that like we're never just gonna have like all the money to just like gut the bathroom and completely renovate it. Like that's just not gonna happen for a really long time. And so I just want to take the time to like go through each room and like do what we can and like at least put up decor to like make it feel like homey in our home. Like I said, I think I just watched too much HGTV where like they gut the whole house and just like the whole house is new again. And then like my first house was more updated, so there was less that I wanted to do to it. Plus I knew that I wasn't going to be there long term, so I didn't want to do anything huge. And so I was able to just go out and do all of the things that I wanted to do to that house because they weren't super expensive projects. So goal this year is to start doing small things to the house, because like just like the kitchen needs new hardware on the drawers and doors and stuff. But I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna wait until like we can do the countertops and we can do new appliances and blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, or you could just go out and spend the $100 on new hardware or whatever, and then like you'll like your kitchen a little bit more, like just things like that. So that's what the goal for this year. I do plan on making a list and putting it in the bullet journal of like the projects that I want to get to this year. The next thing that I want to do in a home is get organized and declutter. I'm pretty sure that was like my goal last year was to always have a house that was like ready for company, which did not happen like at all. And so I've just like, I want less things that I need to organize. Like, I just don't want to have to always be cleaning the same things over and over and over again, and I wouldn't have to if we just like got rid of them. I also realized like, yeah, it's really hard because I have a toddler, but we need to get organized, we need to declutter. There's a lot of closets in my house that just like when we moved in, I shoved the boxes in there. Like I need to go through and like I'm like going deep on clean talk, and like that's just like the cleaning side of TikTok, and like I just want my house to be like maybe not crazy like that, but like I want things to be labeled and categorized and things like that. So we're going to work on that this year. The next thing is I just have homesteadish. This year I have a newfound love for like homesteading things. Like, yeah, I grew up on a farm. Like I knew that I wanted to have animals and stuff here, but like I have recently discovered that I really like canning things, water bath canning, pressure canning, absolutely love things like that. Then we want to get more goats this year, like just start doing more homesteady a little bit more self-sufficient things. One, because I enjoy it, and two, because I do think that you can save money by being a little more self-sufficient when it comes to things, just because I really enjoy it. Like, I'm not gonna do the things that I don't enjoy about it because I'm not that deep into it yet. I am going to say yet because I have a tendency to just kind of keep going once I find a new hobby. But so that's a goal for this year, is just kind of continue down that road. I want to have a bigger garden. I want to can some more things. The next thing is, again, to travel to a warm beach. I never made it to a warm beach this year. We just got busy and it didn't end up happening. This year it really needs to. Part of the reason we didn't want to go this year is because we knew that it wasn't going to be like our nice relaxing vacation on a beach with a 1-year-old. So now that Aurora's a little bit older and she's listening a little bit better and things like that, like, it would be easier to go to somewhere like that. She'll be able to like build sand castles and stuff now, so it will be a little bit easier to take her there. The next category is finances, and the first one is I want to create and stick to a budget every single month. So I have been budgeting, but I haven't been like it's not like a strict $0 budget where like once we spend so much money, like we then like we literally do not allow ourselves to spend more money. Like, it's kind of just been like a guideline, and I just want to get better at that. I do also want to work on combining me and my husband's finances this year, because that has been something that like we talk about, and like we know each other's situations and like where we're at, and like there's certain bills that I pay for and certain bills that he pays for, but like nothing's together. And we realized this year that kind of bit us in the butt a little bit at just a few times throughout the year. And so I do want to work on combining that, because I think that that'll be easier for us to then hit our financial goals. And then the next one that I have in the finance is to continue to pay off our debt. We didn't necessarily pay off a crazy huge chunk like I hope that we do every single year, because inflation did hit pretty hard, and so we didn't do that. But we also didn't go into further debt this year, which was good. So we did pay off some, but I just want to keep continuing to do that. And then the last category is family and friends, and in that category I just have dinner with family one time a month, and then just time or dinner with a friend one time a month. And then the category for my work I don't really share with you guys. And then the last category is for Small Town Envy. And so for my YouTube, I do want to hit 1,000 subscribers this year. That was on my goal list last year. That's going to be on my goal list every year until I hit it. I'm planning to hit it this year. I mean, obviously, I can only do so much to make that happen. We made good progress. I actually, this was my first full year doing YouTube. I started at the tail end of 2021. And so now that I have a year under my belt, I do feel like I have a better understanding of like what it's gonna take. So I just want to continue down that. The next thing is I want to further curate my niches on YouTube. I have kind of transitioned my channel. Even in the first year when I first started, I was hitting motherhood content like real hard. And then as my daughter's gotten older, I've realized that to do every single video for mom stuff or baby things, because like she's a toddler now, she's not a baby anymore, so I kind of had to transition my content a little bit, because now that she's a little bit older, things aren't changing near as quickly. So to keep getting videos out, I do need to add other things to my channel. I still will continue to talk about motherhood. I've found that like my favorite videos to make are the ones where I'm just like telling you all my honest opinions on things. From what I can see, like those are the videos that you guys like as well. So I will continue to make those. And then the third thing that I want to do is I want to work on figuring out how to incorporate short form content into my YouTube channel. I think that is going to continue to be the direction that things go, like with TikTok and Instagram Reels and stuff, now YouTube Shorts. I just want to figure out how to kind of get my foot in the door on that in a organic way that kind of relates to my long form content. I haven't really figured that out yet, which is why I haven't been posting short form content. Then the next category that I have in Small Town Envy is to have an Instagram strategy. I have been doing Instagram a little bit, like I dabble in it, but YouTube is really where I've been spending my time, because I know if I hit both of them really hard, I'm not going to do either one that well. And so I'm really just trying to be focused on YouTube, because that's where that's what I like the best. And then the last thing is, this year I do want to release some sort of product or merch or something. I have a whole list of ideas. It's just actually getting it to be a real thing. So those are my 2023 goals. Like I said, last year I would have then taken those and like made a vision board, but a vision board just didn't motivate me. This year, like I said, it might in the future, but what I'm going to do is I have now set 5 goals for January, and the first one is going to be to declutter closets. The second thing is I want to try a new hobby. That's another thing that I really realized is last year my entire vision board was all like these big goals that I wanted to do, besides I think some of the body ones, but I want to incorporate like new hobbies and new habits into my everyday life, instead of just having like a goal by the end of the year type thing. So in January I want to try one new hobby. I actually do have a list of hobbies that I would like to try. I might share that in an upcoming video. It just kind of depends. But I am at the age where like I want to do more than just like watch TV and take care of my child. So we are going to try hobbies, see what I like to do. Like I said, I did find out that I like to do the canning thing and all that. So I do have that, but like in the winter that becomes harder because you don't have a garden and like there's just less things that are in season. So I'm gonna try something else. Another goal that I have for January is that I'm only going to drink water, with the exception of like tea or coffee. So basically what that means is I'm not going to drink pop or alcohol in January. My craving for it that I have every day will be gone. And I know that because I've done this so many times in my life, because pop is my addiction. The fourth goal is that I want to read 2 books in January. Have no idea what books I'm going to read. I don't have any specific ones in mind, but I started the year off really strong last year with reading a lot. And I didn't hit my book goal that I had last year because once it got warm outside, I just completely quit reading again. And so I do want to start again in January. It's also something that like once we can't go outside and I'm just sitting inside like by the fireplace or like all warm and cozy, like that's when I typically like to read a book. So we're going to do that. And then the 5th goal that I have is I want to hit 300 YouTube subscribers. So those are my January goals as well as my 2023 goals. I think that it's really going to be better for me to set monthly goals like this, because that was another thing with my goals last year. It was just that so many things shifted throughout the year that it was like something that made sense in January didn't necessarily make sense in July. So I do think that this is a better approach for me to go through on a month by month and figure out what I'm going to do that month to make these things happen. So we'll see how it goes. The last thing that I want to talk about is I am going to still set a word for the year. Last year, my word of the year was intentional, and I just wanted to be a lot more intentional with my time and with the time that I spent with people and with the things that I was pursuing. And I think that I did a really good job. Like that's something that I'm still doing in my life because I really liked it. So the word that I want to set for this year is balance, because like I talked about earlier in this video, I have a tendency to be either operating at 0 or operating at 100, and my balance just isn't great. Like I'm either like feeling so good doing all the things, or I'm just like a slug on the couch, like not doing anything. And like I feel like when I'm doing all the things and I'm doing so well. If like one thing throws off my routine, I like scrap the whole thing, and then I just like don't do anything else before. So I need to find a way to get a routine that works for me in busy seasons as well as slow seasons, because in slow seasons I'm so good. I'm on top of working out, I'm on top of eating well, I'm on top of like doing all the things. And then when I get busy, I just like throw all that out the window. Or like the same with spending, like I'm either spending zero money or I'm spending all of the money on like all the stupid things. So this year's word is balance. I am going to try to incorporate that into all the different aspects of my life, and we will see what happens. But I would love to hear what some of your yearly goals are, as well as if you have a word for the year. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.